Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dr. Qadir Muhammad Halimi. I'm originally from Afghanistan, and I left Afghanistan at the age of 8 after the war and migrated to the San Francisco Bay Area at the age of 10. By the time I finished education, schooling, and medical school, I was close to the age of 30. And all throughout my education life, I've always wanted to do something and give back to the community and the people that I came from. I came home and told my wife that I've made a decision, and she kind of got nervous and asked if we were moving, and I said, no, we're not moving. However, we're going to start a orphanage in Afghanistan. She was very happy and supportive, and with her support and my brother's, we decided to go ahead and go with the project. I decided to make an initial trip to Afghanistan to see if the need is there for an orphanage in Afghanistan, and whether we need to do one there or somewhere else perhaps. After 28 years of being away, I went back and visited Kabul and Mazar Sharif, which is the northern city in Afghanistan, and found out quickly that although there's orphanages there, the orphanages are not run the way I thought they should be run, meaning the educational system is non-existent, the healthcare system is non-existent. And these orphanages, alhamdulillah, although they're doing work and they're doing what they can, are more run as shelters where they're just feeding the kids and not taking care of their needs. So when I came back, I sat down and brainstormed again with my wife and my brother, and we decided that if we are going to start an orphanage in Afghanistan, we're going to have to do it the best possible way, which means cutting no corners and doing what we do for our own kids. So about 3 years ago, we leased a house in Kabul, and we started an orphanage with 3 kids. The reason we chose a private school over homeschooling was mainly 2 reasons. 1, we don't want these kids to be cooped up in the house, and 2, we want them to get out and socialize with other kids and people who they're going to make friends for the rest of their lives. They come home again with the same private driver, and they're met by their tutors, which include English, math, science, Quran, and then a physical education teacher, which comes 3 times a week and does boxing, stretching, and running. And over the last 3 years, we're up to alhamdulillah 21 kids, including 3 girls. We've recently been ranked as number 1 by the European Union in Kabul as doing the best quality work in an orphanage, which is an amazing accomplishment, something I never thought I'd be able to say. Some of the kids that came to us came from all walks of life, including Kareem. Kareem was a little boy. His mother died while he was very young. His mother remarried, and eventually mother and father got separated, and father left, leaving kid to the stepmother. Kareem was abused on a daily basis by his stepmother and his uncles who were living with them, to the point where he was pushed off the roof several times, and he ended up breaking his spine, and currently suffers from severe scoliosis. Kareem is a very smart boy. He's ranked number 1 in his class. Last year, after being with us for about 1.5 years, Kareem was taken by his mother without our consent and didn't bring him back for about 6 months. We never heard from Kareem again. About 6 months later, Kareem was again being abused by his stepmother, and he crawled out from a window in the bathroom and hitched a ride from northern Afghanistan, where his stepmother had taken him, back to Kabul over 2 days and 2 nights, and came back to our orphanage and said that he doesn't want to go back to his stepmother. Unfortunately, the Department of Education, whom we're registered with, has granted us full guardianship of Kareem, and he will not be subject to the same type of abuse in the future. And the stories are sad and grim and hard to believe, but they're there. And our intention is to treat these kids like I would treat my own kids. So if I want my own kids to go to private schooling and to go to college, I want these kids to go through college. They have to become doctors, lawyers, engineers, architects, things that I want for my own kids. And we're trying to do that as best we can. These kids are happy. Most of them don't want to go back to their extended families. And they're fed, they're clothed, they're taught English, math, science on the highest level in Afghanistan. And people who've gone back from the US and visited, they've come back and told me they can't believe what they're seeing. I want to tell you about our campaign of 10 plus 1. I ask you to donate $10 and please tell one more person, and that person in turn tells another person. $10 a month may not be much for us. It may be couple of trips to Starbucks, but it adds up for these kids in these kids' life. I ask you humbly to join our 10+1 campaign. More than money, more than donating monthly, I need your prayers. I need for you to pray for me, for the kids, for Allah to accept our work and to make our work easy. These kids have been abused physically and mentally, and they deserve every opportunity, as do your kids and as do my kids. I ask for you to help, support, and prayers. Please visit our website, follow us on Facebook, and tell others about our project. And tell them the great work that's being done and how they can help and how they can get enjoyment of the same kids. I thank you for watching, and may God bless you.